We have seen so much from this Mario movie so far, and it looks amazing, from all types of video game references to worlds to visit, and even a Mario Kart race on Rainbow Road. There's so much here, and I cannot wait to see what else Nintendo is holding for the actual movie. But one thing that we really haven't seen much of is Mario and Bowser's interaction. Of course, they're saving that for the very end of the movie. They don't want to spoil what's going to happen, but I have to wonder how they're going to battle each other this movie, because there's so many classic ways they could go about this, and I want to talk about how all these ways could fit into a movie scene and which would work the best. Now, of course, let's start off with the original way to take out Bowser, and that's dropping the drawbridge on him. Now, I actually think there's a pretty good chance that this could happen because it's just so classic. Now, I think there will be more going into this. I, for instance, think they will be fighting in some other way, but I do think by the very end, there is a chance that Mario drops Bowser in some type of lava pool or some type of lava pit by dropping a drawbridge on him and dropping that axe. I think there's a very good chance. I just see that happening, and I would actually say this is extremely likely. What about Mario Bros 3, where Bowser breaks the bricks in order to kill Mario, but he actually ends up killing himself? This could definitely happen as well. It looks like in this movie, Bowser has a very short fuse, and he gets angry very easily, which I could see him kind of just destroying his castle and everything around him in order to get to Mario, and Mario just pretty much allows him to break his own castle apart and end up breaking like a floor piece where he'll fall to his death. It won't be the coolest ending, I'll admit, but I definitely could see it being something that happens late in the movie. Super Mario World has Bowser in a clown car, flying above his castle, throwing down cannonballs and Mecha Koopas at Mario. Now, this actually has a chance because we know the clown car is actually in this movie, and we know that regular enemies use these clown cars, not just Bowser and Bowser Jr., for instance. So maybe there's a chance that Bowser picks up a clown car, towards the end of the movie, one of the enemies has it, and he kind of throws them out, takes the clown car, and uses it for himself to kind of chase down Mario. I think that would be a pretty cool scene, and then Mario has to somehow take him out the clown car or hit him out the clown car would be really cool. Maybe he picks up one of the cannonballs he tosses down and throws it back up at him, or maybe it's Mecha Koopas just like in the video game. But I definitely see this one being a possibility. I'd say this one is likely. Mario 64, I'm going to say right off the bat, is very likely because it's such a good boss battle, and it's something that's super memorable for so many Mario fans and Nintendo fans and just really fans of anything Mario. You probably remember this boss battle where you're grabbing Bowser by his tail, spinning him around, and chucking him into the bombs in the background. I can definitely see something like this happening, and it just really makes sense in the sense of the Mario movie. I don't think Mario's going to walk up and just punch Bowser in the face, but if there's going to be any type of physical altercation between the two, it's probably going to be with Mario tossing him around. I can see Mario grabbing his tail and throwing him in the movie somewhere, maybe through a wall or maybe through some type of bombs or something in the background would be really, really cool. And I don't necessarily seeing it being like the end-all be-all of the movie, but definitely one of the things that Mario does as he fights him, so I'm saying this is going to be very likely that this shows up in the movie in some way. What are the odds that Bowser's in a giant green liquid hot tub at the end with Bowser Jr. and he has Peach with him, and he's like in the sky above a volcano, and then Mario has to use flood? Okay, I'm sorry. No, this isn't happening. Mario Galaxy's space boss with Bowser was amazing, and quite honestly, probably the best Bowser boss fight we've ever gotten. Will it appear in the Mario movie in any way like this? Probably not. Just because I don't think we're going to be in space really at all. We do have Luma Lee, but I think that's really just for the case of having a Luma and kind of referencing Mario Galaxy for a little bit. I don't think there's going to be a lot of Mario Galaxy references. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I think they've leaked Gusty Garden actually playing in some time in the movie, but I just don't think there's going to be a lot of references in this movie. But I definitely see this Bowser fight versus Mario happening eventually, and maybe even in a sequel or something like that, where Rosalina and the rest of the Galaxy references can just run wild. Although I would love an end scene where maybe Mario punches Bowser in the face and knocks him over like that. I think it would be awesome and kind of unexpected, and it's actually a very cinematic scene in Mario Galaxy, unless they once again just want to save all of that for Mario Galaxy, a sequel or something. But at the end of the day, I think this one's actually very unlikely. Mario Bros. Wii introduces something that we see over and over again, and that is Bowser growing giant. And who is in this movie to make him do so? Yep, it's Kamek. Kamek has the ability to grow Bowser if something bad happens, and I can see this being the very end of the movie where Bowser does fall into that pit. But at the same time, Kamek comes in order to help grow him into massive proportions where Mario has to run away and find some other switch or something to take him down, which would be a really cool scene. I could see it having that serious music that new Super Mario Bros. Wii has, as Mario's trying to just run out of the castle for his life, and then something at the end Mario has to do with his friends in order to take him down. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a switch like the video games, but I would love to see a giant Bowser scene, and as much as I'm actually tired of stuff like this in the video games, it's something that I actually really want to see in the movie. Mario Galaxy 2, to me, one of the worst Bowser boss fights, completely opposite of what they did in the first game. I, once again, just don't see this happening once again, though, because it's all space related, and I think that could be saved for a later sequel, but I just overall don't like this boss fight. Just slamming meteors into Bowser, over and over again is just not that fun to me, but, to each their own. As far as the next 3 or 4 Bowser boss fights with the different Mario games, they're all kind of the same. Bowser gets giant and he starts throwing things and spitting fire at Mario. So once again, I do think there's a good chance that Bowser gets big in this movie and just goes on a complete rampage thanks to Kamek. What about Bowser duplicating himself with the double cherry? Well, I don't really know about that one, but I think Meowser could definitely happen because we do see Cat Mario in this movie when he fights Donkey Kong. So there is a chance we could get a Meowser variant, but that ties into something that I have for later on, so I'm gonna save this for later. I'll be back. However, I do see that Koopa car appearing from Mario 3D World where Bowser was throwing explosive soccer balls out of it. For instance, when they're all on Rainbow Road racing, maybe he's the last threat that pulls up in this car. I think that would be a really cool scene and a great reference to the game. I'm just going to say it's likely. There's definitely a possibility that this could happen. We're seeing references throughout all the various Mario games, and Mario 3D World is definitely being referenced in this movie as well. And then finally, we have Mario Odyssey Bowser, where he has the wedding tuxedo on, and he also has that hat. I just don't think this is going to happen because, it just doesn't really make sense, in my opinion, because the story isn't really about Bowser trying to marry Peach, it's about him trying to gather Power Stars. So this could be a story for maybe a future movie, but definitely not this one. But yes, I wanted to go back to Mario 3D World for a second, where Bowser turns into Meowser. I really just like the idea of Bowser using items such as the Double Cherry and even the Super Bell in order to turn into super versions of himself the same way Mario can. And it just feels like a really balanced fight, and I love this concept. Now, I used to love the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and I used to watch all the classic Mario TV shows when I was younger and when I was sick from school. I loved these things. But there was one specific episode called Menace in Venice where, Bowser somewhat went to Venice, Italy. Why? I don't know, but he went to the real world and started using all of Mario's items against Mario, and I loved this concept. There's also an episode where Bowser's able to get to Brooklyn, the real world, and start causing chaos, and maybe Mario has to fight him in the real world in this movie. As we know, once again, Mario and Luigi both come from Brooklyn again in the actual movie, which would be really cool. I mean, we have Fire Peach and we've seen Fire Donkey Kong, for crying out loud, so there's no way that Bowser isn't going to try to use some of these items, and I think it'd be a really cool kind of item battle at the very end of both of them using all these different abilities in order to defeat each other. It's not a 100%, but I definitely think it's likely. It could be a completely new way that Bowser takes down Mario, and I could be completely wrong, but I definitely think there's going to be some references from the past games. What references would you like to see from the past games? What way would you like to see Mario take out Bowser, and what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, stop what you're doing right now, leave a like, and subscribe to stay up to date on all things the Mario movie and Nintendo in general. And like always, I'll see you on the next one. See ya, guys.